Hello everyone and welcome back to the Fabled Storm. We're continuing with Darksiders today, and for all those that have been watching, subscribing, doing whatever from my channel, I want to say thank you at the start of the video, and we're just going to get right back into it. We're right back where we left off on our way to the Twilight Cathedral. We're going to go try to fight Tiamat and rip out her heart. I also thought that in this episode I would do a little bit more of the backstory about War and sort of where he comes from, what he is. I sort of touched on it in the first episode, but I hadn't done any more of it, so I think while I play this time I'm just going to tell you a little bit of the story behind the Horsemen. So, the Horsemen are Nephilim. This version of the events, of four horsemen, or the four Nephilim that make the four horsemen, decided that they wanted to fix that. What's up, guys? This is the Fabled Storm. So, as I was editing this video, I realized that I get really distracted during the combat, and I couldn't actually finish the story or sort of be cohesive with it about the Nephilim and their background, like where the horsemen come from, the Charred Council, and all that stuff. So I figured I would just do a voiceover that would explain the story, so everyone will be able to hear it and enjoy it. And it won't be so broken up. So this is my attempt to do that, and I'm gonna try to do it in my best impression of the narrator from the beginning, Azrael, the Angel of Death.
I was once told if I lived until the last star burnt out, until the Creator himself had died and putrefied away to nothing, I still wouldn't even begin to understand how depraved the Nephilim were. The Nephilim were a race more ancient than the Archangels, the Creator's first warriors, born from an unholy union of angels and demons. Once one of the most savage, powerful, and warlike races in all of creation, they fought against the darkness with great ferocity. But the primitive Nephilim, flawed and corruptible, were finally exiled from the light. The Nephilim were depraved outcasts among creation, due to their insatiable bloodlust. The first victims of the Nephilim were the Revium, an ancient and remarkably inventive race of craftsmen who could sculpt their own flesh, living or otherwise, into almost anything. Their destruction was quick and brutally effective, but unfortunately for them, the Nephilim had plans for them extending beyond extermination. One of the firstborn, Death, conceived of a way to turn the corpses of the Revium into obscene weapons of world-ending power. Named the Grand Abominations, these weapons were so horrific that even the Nephilim used them only sparingly, keeping them a closely guarded secret and creating numerous failsafes to keep them under control. Only the firstborn ever knew the secrets of either the abomination's construction or the means to activate them fully. With these, the Nephilim went on to butcher countless realms, introducing the complete extinction of all life upon many of these worlds. Both heaven and hell made significant efforts to stop the Nephilim. Once a massive demon army, in combination with a large group of makers, tried to destroy them. But despite inflicting massive casualties to the Nephilim, the battle ended in defeat for the Coalition. But finally, 4 of the Nephilim grew weary of the slaughter, believing that the crusade of their kinsmen threatened to undo the balance of creation. The 4 approached the neutral, ruling body of the universe, the Charred Council. The 4 struck a deal with the Council. Strife, fury, death, and war would become the Council's enforcers, upholding the balance and maintaining order in the universe in exchange for phenomenal amounts of power.
Sort of the problem is that they are super powerful.
This way.
It's nothing. Some demon trick.
I know what I saw.
He's right.
Uriel.
It's there, beneath the stench of this place. You can sense it, ancient. From neither the White City nor the Black Depths. Something lost between.
Giddy up, ride 'em, cowboy. Yeehaw! Excuse me.
Hellgod, to arms!
Slay him! Bring him to justice!
That'll be it. Come on, Griffin. Where you going? There we go. Ow. What the hell hurt me? Oh, that's not good. Oh, there we go. I got some health back. Holy moly, this is taking a long time. Could you go any slower? I gotta finish my story. Ow. Hi, Jim. Not the cathedral.
Not, I assume? Guess she wasn't up for having visitors today. Yeah, so we'll kill these stragglers and then move
Come on, come on. And how are we doing? I don't know if I want to do that yet. Because then I can at least leave it out here in case I need to come back out and get it. You know what? I'll just take it. It'll be fine. Could buy a whole Wrath core for 10,000 souls. Yeah, I need that, like, sooner than anything else. I'll wait to buy anything. But, so basically, the horsemen went and got their powers, and then they had to go back and kill all their brethren. But this also made them the enforcers of the council. And they were made...
Over here!
Basically, specifically... I always thought these swords were cool. Because you actually get to use them for combat. The one from here is missing. But they serve a certain purpose, so... So, the horsemen become the enforcers for the council to keep the law in balance. You know, the truce between angel and demon, to make sure that it stays that way, and that until the end time and the 7 seals are broken, the horsemen don't come and war doesn't start. Like actual.
After their defection, it is known that the Nephilim's crusade continued for some time, but their time grew short. Before they could fully take up their mantles as the horsemen, War and his siblings were sent to the far fields, to a mysterious being known only as the Horsemaster. The Horsemaster demanded that they discard their weapons, as the ancient beast they sought to tame would bow only to their will. Death, silent during the exchange, charged into the stampeding horses without a backward glance. He soon grabbed a hold of one horse and mounted it. The Nephilim gained control of it and directed it back to the Horsemaster and his siblings, where he named it Despair, as its appearance changed into bone and pale dead flesh to reflect its master. The 3 remaining followed suit, and soon enough they had their great steeds and their names. For what follows fury but rampage? What follows strife but mayhem? And what follows war but ruin? When man was created from the dust, they were given Eden. With a desire to claim a realm for the Nephilim, they led an assault to take it. The outraged Nephilim met the archangels on the fields of paradise to lay claim to Eden. The 4 horsemen, alongside the Hellguards, slaughtered the Nephilim during the Titanic battle. The ensuing war saw the slaughter of all the remaining Nephilim, primarily at the hands of the 4. As they died, their souls were collected into an amulet which Death wore around his neck, preserving their essence even as their flesh was destroyed. After this occurrence, The only Nephilim left were the four horsemen, and to some extent, Absalom. But that is a story for another place and another time.
So, they were like, we know you're next in line, and you're supposed to be the one that's going to take over and be the ruler of the depths or hell when he goes. And Samael was like, huh. Well, if you think that, and they're like, we already know you're building an army, and we were sent here by the council to tell you that the truce between angel and demon must remain for the moment. Because if the pacts are broken and they fight anyway, whether the seals are broken, then war would break out, and mankind wouldn't have been given its time to do what it was supposed to do. And Samael's response to that is something to the effect of, well, I don't actually rule hell right now. Why don't you go tell the real ruler, the Prince of Darkness? And so, but she's with him, and she says, well, why are you talking to us? You should go talk to Abaddon. Abaddon's the one who's preaching war and wants to start all the drama and whatnot. So you should go and get on his case. But I guess you don't make this happen. But what's even more interesting is after that they leave. And Samael tells his armies, don't attack the horsemen, don't try. Because at this time, they're still the full-powered enforcers of the council, which means they have all of their abilities, all of their, havoc forms, or, all the bloodshed and killing his own race, his people. And so War, he was very temperamental. The youngest, the hardest to keep in line. So he left. And when it was, fighting on his own, doing what he wanted to do, and the other three horsemen were sent to bring him back. The council was like, go get your brother, bring him back by whatever means are necessary. So War tells them all to leave. He's like, this isn't a fight you want. And they're like, you don't get a choice in that. You're coming back because the council said you have to. And War says, no, I don't think that's how that's going to work out. And they're like, again, you don't get a say in the matter. So War, as interesting as War is, and then they took him back to the council. And the council was pretty pissed. And he was still the hardest one to keep. So that's the end of story time, part 1. Or I guess just this story right here. That's a prologue to what's happening. And I think I'm going to call it quits right here for this episode. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. I want to build a good community on this channel if we can, like people that are into the same sort of stuff. I'm willing to play a plethora of games. People can give me suggestions and stuff like that. It's always nice to hear new things that might be interesting. And just to hear lore, people that are really big into that might like this kind of stuff. But if you do like it, stick around. If you don't, well, gotta go your own way, I guess. I just want to say thanks for watching if you have, and have a great evening and a beautiful